Hi there everyone, and welcome to my video on One Finger Death Punch. Now this is a rather unusual game. It's made by a company called Silver Dollar Games. Now their past library is, let's say, dubious to say the least, with classics such as No Luca No and Try Not to Fart. Yeah, that's the kind of level we're dealing with here, but this little gem is just that. It is a massively addictive game, surprisingly so. The basic premise behind it is it's a martial arts game, to the extent that you control the whole thing with just 2 buttons and you watch stick men beat the living crap out of one another. This little section here is pretty much what you can expect from this game. Those of you that are of a sufficient age may remember a time where there were a series of flash animations online called Xiao Xiao, and it really was that. It was just an animation of stick figures just beating each other up in kung fu styles. If any of you are interested, I'll try and dig up the link, I'll put it in the video description for here. You'll see exactly what I mean. But that's what the art style of this game is actually all about. Now, when I say you control it with just 2 buttons, now this depends on the version of the game you've got. If it's a console version, it will be 2 buttons on your controller. Because this is the PC version, it's controlled using the left and right mouse buttons. So, let me just give you a quick rundown as to how this game works. I've got all of the skills turned off at the moment. I'm not going to use those for the time being. But what I do want to show you is just the general mechanics of how the game works. And then I want to show you some of the higher difficulties. Because like I say, the whole premise behind the game is very simple, but it can get really difficult really quickly. So anyway, let's go into a game. And there's 2 basic modes, levels and survival. Levels is just sort of like a basic sort of campaign quest type thing. You can select what type of game mode you want. The further down the campaign you go, the more difficult the levels actually are. And there are 3 different difficulty levels. I'm just going to start off with student for the time being, just to show you essentially some of how the game actually works. So anyway, let's zoom out. It's a little bit too far in. So this is the campaign grid. I've cleared it all the way up to Grandmaster. So we've got the whole world at our disposal here. But just generally, you've got all of these different icons here that represent different kind of game modes. You've got multi-modes here, mob rounds, which are your basic. This is the number of enemies that are going to come at you. You've got 10 lives to beat all of them up. So I'm just going to pick one. Let's go over here. Nice round 100 enemies. So the whole premise of it is, now when you see this, you'll probably think to yourselves, yeah, just mash the buttons, you'll be absolutely fine. That's not how it works. So let's just take a very quick look then as to how this all actually works. So there you are, right in the middle. And what's going to happen? You are going to get these little guys coming at you from the left and right, and when they come within your attack range, you just hit them. The coloured ones are slightly more difficult. You can see there's a little set of bars underneath them, which will tell you what they're going to do, basically. So, oh, there you go. So, missed there and ended up getting hit for it. So, essentially what happens is, now I've got a brawler enemy there as well. The colours essentially tell you the order in which you need to attack them. So the purple ones that you see coming at me right now, we'll talk about these guys in a minute. The purple ones you see coming at me means I've got to hit them, and then the other way, and then back again. Which is effectively what the colours mean. Now you don't have to do them all in the same order. The brawler enemies are slightly different. Whenever you get into combat with one of those, you go into a little sort of a button sequence that you've got to press in order very quickly in order to kill them. You'll see I'm picking up weapons as well. Now, essentially, the melee weapons, all they do is they extend your attack range a little bit. Always very useful, but unless you've got certain skills equipped, if you pick up 2 of the same, you end up throwing one of them. And they do different things depending on what weapon you've actually got set up here, so we're almost done. You can also pick up throwing weapons, ranged weapons. As soon as you pick those up, you end up shooting them. Now, when you see me missing there, that's essentially, if you click the button and there's no one in your attack range, you miss, your controls lock out for a certain amount of time, and you can't do anything for a very brief time. And in that time, all of your enemies are free to come up and lamp your one. So button mashing gets you absolutely nowhere in this game. Absolutely nowhere. You miss too many times, you're going to get your head weaved into the floor. Now bear in mind this is actually a very low difficulty at the moment. It doesn't look too difficult. It gets quite tricky further down the line. Right, let's try this again, but this time we'll take a look at Grandmaster mode. Now this is significantly more difficult. The jump up to Master mode is quite straightforward as well. Let's do another mob round and see how we get on this time. Now straight up, oh my god. Yeah, straight away you should be able to see this is a hell of a lot faster. There's oh god. Ah! Yeah, give me a minute. Oh, bloody hell. Right, okay, I'll try and talk now, shall I? Right, you'll see that this time I've actually managed to put a couple of skills in place as well. There's no way I could have done this without any of those equipped. What you do is you can unlock skills as you go through the story mode. Hang on a minute. Oh, bloody hell. Right, now this is one of them that you see here. This is a skill called Grey Out. Now, after a certain number of kills, your skills do kick in. This one kicks in after, I think it's 30 kills. Basically, it turns all of your enemies into grey enemies, so they all die in one hit. You don't have to worry about any of this rubbish going on. You'll also notice every so often that I'm throwing weapons pretty much as I pick them up. That's another skill called Throw Weapons, so the first time you pick a skill up after a certain number of kills, pick a weapon up after a certain number of kills, oh god. Yep. You end up throwing it straight away, so there goes another one. Now obviously you do want to hold on to weapons every so often, which is where Staff Master comes in. So if Throw Weapon's not ready and I pick up a staff weapon and I use it as normal, it lasts for a much greater amount of time. But really, to survive on this, the biggest one I rely on is Grey Out, because taking on, oh my god, sorry. Bloody hell. Yeah, the one I rely on is this one. It is Grey Out. I don't think I'll be able to last through this. Jesus Christ. This is bloody chaos. I seriously don't think I'll be able to last through this without using that one, because you get so many coloured enemies at you so quickly, and you can only keep track of so many at a time. It's ridiculous. Oh my word. If you can get into a little chain of throwing all the weapons like that as well, it makes life a lot easier just to clear things out. Especially when you pick up a sword and you can throw. Here's Staff Master. You can see the staffs turn red. This basically means that I'll hold on to it for much longer. But yeah, so being able to pick up weapons just makes it a... Oh yes, nice little chain going here. Come on! Makes it a lot easier for you to pick up. Now, that's what I mean by throwing the sword there. It takes out an entire side of the screen. It's really handy. Club's quite good as well, but it's a bit on the unpredictable side. This thing... Oh! Yeah, unless I do that... Oh my god! Oh shit! Ah! Oh, thank god that kicked in. This isn't a skill, by the way. This just happens every so often. It allows you to wipe out anyone within your near vicinity. 60 odd left. Come on, I just might do this. I have been known to screw up from here in the past, so let's not get too excited. These things are brilliantly full of death. Nearly there. Whoa, slow motion. Don't worry about missing, just make sure you don't miss with anyone near you. Oh god, come on, nearly there. 10 left. I think I've got this. Yes, come on. In your face. And in your face. Yes. Awesome game. Pick it up. Play it, please. Thanks for watching, guys.